I wanted to get your thoughts on Jeffrey Hinton, who just left Google, known as the godfather of AI, who's been around for a long time. I guess was always a proponent of neural networks and large language models. But he made a few statements, and I was just curious if you had any comments on them. He himself said that he was surprised at how fast the LLMs developed, with even himself by watching it. And he said a few other things about him being alarmed that they have consumed all of human knowledge and that they know how to potentially trick us and these kinds of things. But what was your reaction to him and his statements?
Yeah, I think, Jeff Hinton is a very sincere and good-hearted person. He's always been an academic researcher type at heart rather than an industry guy. And for a while, there was a vibe where people who were really academic researchers at heart were just like, well, big tech is just moving so much faster than everyone else. While I'd rather be an independent academic, I also don't want to be left behind in the thrust of my research field. So they sort of reluctantly signed on to big tech companies. And I think now that big tech companies are looking less unassailable as the leaders of everything, if you're really academic oriented at heart, it's less obvious that joining a big tech is the only way to be at the forefront, right? And I think you're going to see more of these high profile academics who went into big tech going out of big tech as they realize you can still be at the forefront of research, working in the open source domain. Because these guys mostly didn't join because they wanted a big paycheck. I mean, some did, and they did get a bigger paycheck. They mostly joined really because they just wanted to be where the action is, right? You don't want to work on something for decades and then find all the progress is happening like inside these corporate walls, and you're locked outside. So I think that's in the background there. But I think it's probably also true he was surprised by how much large language models can do. I was surprised also. I mean, the thing is, none of us had really thought that much about what happens if you take a not that smart AI algorithm and put the whole internet into it, right? Because I mean, it's not what we had the ability to do ourselves. It's clearly not the path to AGI. So we just hadn't thought that much about like what happens when you do this. I mean, it's sort of like, it's like thinking about what happens when you put a rocket engine on a car or something, right? I mean, what happens? Well, you get the fastest land vehicle ever. It's pretty cool. It's not the way to get into space. I mean, but it's just these LLMs are an area of AI engineering that none of us with an AGI orientation were thinking about, because we were thinking more about ways that look more directly like paths to AGI. And the bottom line is these LLMs still, they don't generalize or leap far beyond their training data, right? And so in that sense, they're very limited. On the other hand, their training data is everything on the internet. So in that sense, they can be very capable without leaping far behind it. And I think Jeff Hinton nor I had just thought much about this sort of AI. Maybe we would have if we were Google or Microsoft, right? Because it makes sense in terms of their business models, and they have the data and the server firepower. I think he's in some ways a conservative-minded individual. I mean, not in the sense of right-wing politically, but just in the literal sense. And I think his instinct is, whoa, these are big changes. Maybe we should be taking it slowly. Whereas my gut instinct, just as a human being, is, wow, these are big changes. Cool, bring it on, right? It's exciting. I mean, my own challenge is, okay, yes, it's exciting, but let's rationally think about what are the costs and benefits. And I temper my enthusiasm for jumping into the unknown. He's with rational consideration. He has an opposite sort of inclination. Like his reaction to something new is, well, hold on, let's really carefully analyze this and think this through before taking next steps. And I think it's good to have both personalities involved, right? I mean, you want people who are enthusiastically leaping into the future, and you want people whose instinct is to carefully consider and reflect and look at all the risks. So I think it's good to have this diversity of human natures involved, which is part of why I think decentralization and democratization is so good, because you're pulling in a diversity of people with different orientations, right? I mean, I still think even if you're conservative and cautious minded, the AI pause petition was just a stupid thing in a number of specific ways. But I think he's not anti-AI, he's not anti-AGI, he's not full of shit. He's genuinely, a concerned, brilliant researcher. And I don't know. I think I've met him at some conference at some point. I don't know him super well, but I think we would have a very balanced and interesting conversation on this stuff if it came up.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple-digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm going to tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone. Also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline. I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up. If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you going to do? What's the choice that you're going to make?